Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Coaster Chall YouTube channel, and you are watching another video on the Coaster Chall YouTube channel. Now, this video comes from Flamingo Land in Bolton, North Yorkshire. Now, this is some more updates, written and a photographic update that was sent to me quite a while ago now, but I decided to include it now we've got more information on the latest updates. So thank you in advance to Ollie Sharp for another great photo. He did say to me he was going to be sending up loads of updates whenever he can, so thank you so much. I'm sure once the ride is announced, whatever it is, whether it's a coaster or anything like that, I'm sure from the size of it, which I'll get onto in a minute, it is definitely looking to be a coaster. Not for July this year, it's not going to be July this year, that's one thing we can agree on, but I definitely think something's happening next year at Flamingo Land, so... Again, thank you so much, Ollie Sharp. I'm sure, like I said, when the park actually announces the ride, whatever it is, I'm sure they're going to be doing some construction updates on their official social media pages as well, so I'll be using the park's construction updates and Ollie Sharp's as well. So thank you, Ollie. Let's get into the written updates first before I show off this picture, which is already on the thumbnail of the video. So this is on the ride relocation state, dismantling and relocation. So the runaway train and the cycle monorail are already being dismantled, ready for relocation / removal. Again, we don't know much about the cycle monorail's location. It's been in the same location for so many years, so it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. However, the runaway mine train, well, there's another photo on the Coast Force forum. There's loads of photos about these relocations of these rides, these little kids rides, on the Coast Force forum in that Rumoured coaster page, so make sure you go and check them out. But there's a photo on there with a clearing being made to Zoom. Now, Zoom, of course, is the Zamperla Air Force coaster that opened in 2011 at the park, which appears to fit this, and the clearing of the site near Zoom appears to fit the size of the runaway mine train, or the, well, to be fair, the runaway train. Now, of course, those of you who have experienced this coaster in its old location, obviously it's something to take away, a memory, I guess. Of course, those of you who know the history of UK theme parks will remember that the runaway train came to Flamingo Land when the American Adventure theme park up in Derby, around Shipley Lake, closed. Of course, that's already been closed off, ready to be transformed into the Shipley Lake development, the Shipley Lakeside development, which is a shame. I would love to see the new American Adventure, but hey ho, that's 1 out of 3 main parks that I want to see open. Camelot and Pleasure Island are the other ones. So that should be interesting. Of course, Loudon Castle, but that's a Scottish park, so I'm talking about the English ones. But yeah, there's a clearing by Zoom, as you can see on the photos on the Coast Force forum, and runaway train seems to be fitting that site. So again, some really nice stuff going down there. So I think there's 2 things we can agree on. Number 1, something definitely major is happening on that site. Stretching from the Corkscrew's old site into the North Entrance Plaza. And number 2, like I said, it won't be opening in July. It will not be opening in July. I think this is more spring 2020, in my opinion, if they're marking it now. But again, if they're marking things now, then 1, it's a coaster, and 2, it's a big development. Now, of course, I'm going to be talking about the 2 main rumours that have been talked about. One of which we already know from a previous update that we've talked about this, from the actual rumour itself. But the other one you might not know about, but I saw it around the Coast Force forum and a few other places, so it's something I want to talk about as well. So let's have a look at the photo that Ollie sent in. So as you can see on your screen now, Fandabidozi, there's some marking going down on the No, it's the staff car park at Flamingo Land. So there's been some markings going down around there, as you can see already see on the photo, and it looks really good. I think this gives us a lot of potential. I think that marking, in my opinion, if you look on the photo, in my opinion, I believe that marking is it's near, like I said, it's near the staff car park, so, or it's actually on the staff car park, to be fair. So I think this is just directing traffic. I think this is ready for track shipment, perhaps, or this could actually be marking on the staff car park. So there could be some kind of update maybe to the site. Maybe there's going to be an element that sort of crosses over the staff car park and it's taking up a few car parking spaces. I don't know. I really don't know. But, you know, that's what the... You look at the old Corkscrew site and you think, and you know, the staff car park's like right next to the Corkscrew site, so of course they are going to be doing some markings there. So, yeah, it should be very interesting. Now, of course, like I said earlier, there's two main coaster rooms I want to talk about with this project that have been talked about for quite a while. Like I said, one you'll already know about, but I want to give a bonus mention, and it's a coaster that's been talked about since 2012. And that's the wooden coaster rumour. Now, in my opinion, this is not going to be a wooden coaster. If so, we would have seen like wooden supports already go up on site. But of course, groundwork, from what I'm hearing for the last couple of weeks, groundwork's still going on. The clearing of the children's rides is pretty much done. But they're just like I said earlier, they're just waiting to getting ready to dismantle the runaway train and the cycle monorail. Like I said, the cycle monorail, we don't know where that's going yet. I'm not sure which location that's going in yet. I don't think any of us know the location of the cycle monorail, so I hope that stays, because I experienced it when I went to Flamingo Land for my first and only time at the minute, back in 2013, the opening year of Hero, Twistosaurus, Cyclosaurus, and of course the Dino Park in general. That was the only time I've been to Flamingo Land, and of course, I am looking to go back next year once this big new development's open. It's definitely the part to visit next year. Yeah, so I did the cycle monorail, and it's a tame ride, but it's such a classic attraction. You gotta respect your classics. It's been in that same location for so many years. I'd love to see it in a brand new location. I don't want to see it dismantled, but I think, to be fair, I've heard some reports there's been low guest numbers on the cycle monorail compared to other years, so maybe they've taken the decision to fully remove the cycle monorail, perhaps. So again, there is that possibility, but like I said, from what we heard earlier about the clearing of the site near Zoom, that's where the runaway train looks set to be going. Maybe we could see a retheme of the runaway train, perhaps. Possibly a retheme of the runaway train. Which would be nice. I'd like to see it get some new trains, maybe repaint the track to fit the Zoom area and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that one. But now I'm going to talk about the two main coasters that I think for this development, across from the Corkscrew site over to the North Entrance Plaza, replacing those children's rides. So my two main rumours. Now the first one, like I said, I said previously a couple of times in this video, we've already talked about it in a separate video. That's been on a month now. That video's been on a month. It's got like nearly 700 views, I think, which is unbelievable. So thank you so much for watching that video. Really means a lot to me. And that is, of course, the Intamin 10 Looper. Looks set to be the Hopi Hari relocation, which is the one with the lap bars, which means we could get something better than Colossus at Thorpe Park. And I think if it does have the lap bars, I think I would personally rate it higher than Colossus. Maybe if Smiler gets rougher, I'll rate it heavier than, like, more up than the Smiler, perhaps. I don't know. But I'm really excited by this. I think if it does come true, I think if we're going to get a lap bar version of the 10 Looper, I think we are on for a winner. Now, I want to talk about the other rumour that's been speculated a few times, and I want you to hear me out, because I've heard this from other people. This isn't me rumouring this and speculating this. This is from a few different places. A clone of Blue Fire at Europa Park. If they go for that, I clap you all the way. The 10 Looper, great. Lap bars, better than Colossus from the sounds of it. If it is or not, we'll have to see. I mean, the story of that, well, to be fair, the story of the 10 Looper is that, you know, it was originally scheduled to open at Hopi Hari, didn't have the funds to operate it. They were going to move it over to a park in Malaysia, but I think they've sort of backed out on the deal now. So, again, apparently recently, like a week or two ago, it's been sat in storage at Hopi Hari, and apparently it's getting ready for relocation, according to some kind of Intamin engineer or something like that. I can't remember whether it's an Intamin engineer or somewhere. It said that the coaster was planning to relocation, but they're not going to say where. Now this other rumour, the clone of Blue Fire, even though the 10 Looper is great and it probably looks likely to be the 10 Looper, I want this Blue Fire clone, and I'm sure many people out there want this Blue Fire clone, because even though you've got Velocity, which is a Vekoma motorbike launch coaster, you have to have a Blue Fire, like a Mack launch coaster. Could you imagine that at Flamingo Land? The next Blackpool Pleasure Beach, or the next Europa Park. But on an all serious note, a Blue Fire clone would be brilliant. Obviously it would have been nice to see a custom layout, but I'll take it if it's a clone of Blue Fire, which is a very highly rated ride at Europa Park over in Roost, Germany. That's a very high rated ride, so I wouldn't be sad about that. If it's not the 10 Looper and it's a Blue Fire clone, I wouldn't be sad about that, because it's still a great addition. So at the minute we're looking at either one of those things. I think it's leaning heavily more towards the 10 Looper, but there's some people out there still not thinking it's going to happen, and that Hopi Hari is going to relocate that coaster somewhere else. And then you've got the clone of Blue Fire to look forward to, if that is the rumour they're going with, and they're sort of not telling us yet, which they're doing really well. They're not telling us anything, which is brilliant. But like I said earlier, the bonus rumour that I said wasn't in the top 2 but still possible, the wooden coaster that's been talked about since 2012, whether it's GCI or Gravity Group, you know, that's been talked about replacing the Corkscrew site for a while now. Even before, you know, those of you who remember the Corkscrew plans back in 2012 to be putting a new, they were going to put a new children's area on the Corkscrew site back in 2012. They were planning that, and you know, things like that. But I don't think those plans went ahead. I think negotiations fell through with the children's area, so that's why they sort of come up with this what looks to be a roller coaster. But like I said, 10 inverting coaster by Intamin relocated from Hopi Hari. If it's a lap bar one, I'll be happy. If it's a clone of Blue Fire, I'll be happy. If it's a Gravity Group or a GCI Woody, I will be happy. Whatever coaster it is, hopefully it's not another Zamperla Voler, like a dueling Zamperla Voler. Then I'll really sue Flamingo Land. But yeah, I'm very excited about this development. I think the only thing they need to do now to improve Flamingo Land is maybe put a couple more flat rides in. If the Cliffhanger drop tower is being moved to the Scarborough part, which is being built over the next few years as the Flamingo Land coast. Of course, you saw that a separate video. I think that was about a month ago now, or a few weeks ago, or like nearly a couple months ago now, that video, which is so weird. You saw that video and how, you know, I was talking about the possibility of Cliffhanger moving parks. This gives the opportunity for Flamingo Land to add a taller, better drop tower. You look at Congay Parken and how they added they're adding their drop tower this year in June 2019, called Stupet, which is called the Cliff. That's a gyro drop tower. You look at Hansa Park with Highlander, with the tilting seats 90 degrees straight down and the big tower theming. How they've revitalised that area, because if you didn't know about Highlander, basically it's a big new drop tower. It's the world's tallest and fastest free gyro drop tower in the world, and that's being built in the helix of the Nessie roller coaster, which is getting its entrance redone and repainted, etc. And the coaster track's getting repainted for Nessie as well, so that's really revitalised that area. If Cliffhanger goes to the Scarborough part, you know, there's a big opportunity there to re-theme that seaside area and really incorporate a brand new drop tower, a higher, better, faster drop tower. Maybe even a tilting drop tower. That'd be good for England. I think it all, whatever they invested in the future, whether it's a new drop tower, hopefully they replace Hero with a Premier Skyrocket 2 or some kind of compact coaster. Any kind of investments in the future, in my opinion, all these thrilling investments in the future, thrilling or family. He talked about the Mischief Mansion possibly getting turned into a Peter Rabbit VR ride in the future. That's been in the works for a while apparently. So all these investments for the future in the next few years will stem from the new coaster, which looks to be opening next year, whatever type of coaster it is. So I'm personally very, very happy about this investment, whatever coaster it is, clone of Blue Fire, Intamin 10 Looper, or a wooden coaster. I'm happy with either one. I think I'm still leaning towards the 10 Looper even more, but I think the clone of Blue Fire is still in the open, and so is the wooden coaster, because that's been in the works for a few years now for the rumour mill. So thank you very much for watching this update from Flamingo Land. Again, massive thank you, should I say, not congratulations. Well, congratulations for taking the photo, and thank you, Ollie Sharp, for sending me the photo. Like I said, he's going to be sending me updates whenever he can on the construction of the new coaster, and of course, when Flamingo Land announces the new ride, if they announce it and when they announce it, of course, I'm sure they'll be putting some construction updates on their social media sites, so I'll be taking some construction updates from their sites and putting it on here. But thank you very much for watching this video from Flamingo Land. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. My name is Coaster Charlie, YouTube channel. Keep living the coast life, my dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care. Have an awesome day, my friends.